Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
this transcendental vibration by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual soul, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. In this polluted concept of life, we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in our complexities. This illusion is called Maya, our hard struggle for existence, for winning over the stringent laws of material nature. This illusory struggle against the material nature can at once be stopped by revival of our Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. This consciousness is the original energy of living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived, and the process is recommended by authorities for this age. By practical experience also, we can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual status. When one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind and intelligence, one is situated on transcendental plane. This chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is directly enacted from the spiritual platform, surpassing all lower status of consciousness, namely sensual, mental and intellectual. There is no need of understanding the language of the mantra, nor there is any need of mental speculation, nor any intellectual adjustment for chanting this Maha Mantra. It springs automatically from the spiritual platform, and as such, anyone can take part in this transcendental sound vibration without any previous qualification and dance in ecstasy. We have seen it practically. Even a child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. The chanting should be heard from the lips of a pure devotee of the Lord, so that immediate effect can be achieved. As far as possible, chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided, as much as milk touched by the lips of a serpent causes poisonous effect. The word Hara is the form of addressing the energy of the Lord. Both Krishna and Rama are form of addressing directly the Lord, and they mean the highest pleasure eternal. Hara is the supreme pleasure potency of the Lord. This potency, when addressed as Hare, helps us in reaching the supreme Lord. The material energy called as Maya is also one of the multi-potencies of the Lord, as much as we are also marginal potency of the Lord. The living entities are described as superior energy than matter. When the superior energy is in contact with inferior energy, it becomes an incompatible situation. But when the supreme marginal potency is in contact with spiritual potency, Hara, it becomes the happy, normal condition of living entity. The three words, namely Hara, Krishna and Rama, are transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra, and the chanting is spiritual call for the Lord and his internal energy, Hara, for giving protection to the conditioned soul. The chanting is exactly like genuine cry by the child for mother. Mother Hara helps in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hari or Krishna, and the Lord reveals himself to such sincere devotees. No other means, therefore, of spiritual realization is as effective in this age as chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Punya Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Punya Bihari, Yashodanandana, Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana, Brajajana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira Banachari, Jamuna Tira Banachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Punya Bihari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Gopijana Vallabha, Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana, Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana, Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Punya Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Punya Bihari, Jaya Paramang Samparibrahya Acharya Stakare Small Dham Saraswati Swami Bhagavad Jaya Nanda Gori Vaishnava Jaya Ramacharya Srilas Thakur Jaya Names of the whole Sri Krishna Sri Radha Krishna Bhogavna Sam Kanda Radha Kanda Jaya Vrindavan Dham Ki Jaya Navadip Dham Ki Jaya Ganga Mai Ki Jaya Jamuna Mai Ki Jaya Dwarka Dham Ki Jaya Swami Bhaktivinoda Ki Jaya. All glories to the all glories to the Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are having online celebration of His Holiness KAVICANDRA Swami. First have to play his lecture before if anybody has offering to read online, then the person can go on and read. But for now, we go for the lecture, after which we move to offerings.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna. I didn't know you would come. I wanted to play a lecture. You are welcome, Guru Maharaj.
All right, so what should I do?
You can speak on anything you want. Maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or anything. You wanted to play your lecture, so you can.
Of course, we've been hearing a lot about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I hope devotees are listening to these lectures on all over the place, YouTube and Dandavats and everywhere, Facebook. So many nice talks about Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hope everybody's can read it. Many of you will have to get it online, I suppose. We need to get more books in there. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chaksuramilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschate Satarane. Vanchakalpa Turvyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Maha. Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Tvishe Namaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Okay, we have today is a disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri, so that's very auspicious, and I've been talking about it again and again, and I will do it again. He's one of my, he's far, but I like to look up to him, think about his activities. He's the grand spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya. He introduced the concept of conjugal love, spiritual Radha and Krishna, into the Madhva line. Before that, worshiping Krishna. He was very, very special. He's the Diksha Guru of Advaita Acharya, and Shiksha Guru, intimate Shiksha Guru of Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur. So we'll hear more, but first there's a couple of prayers from him, how he's leaving behind Karma Kanda. 1 minute. It's like Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityajya. It doesn't mean you give up your work and your family or whatever, but you don't have to do so many rituals, that are cultural or traditional rituals that are meant to bring you to surrender to Krishna. If you surrender to Krishna, that's what's important. First one is Sanja Vandana Bhadram Astu. Snana Tubhyam Namo. Bo Deva Pitaras Chatarpana Vido Naham Chama Chamyatam Yatra Kwapi Nisadya Yadava Kulot Tamsasya Kamsadvisha Smaran Smaram Agam Harami Tadalam Manye Kim Anyename. O my evening prayer, all good unto you. O my morning bath, I bid you goodbye. O demigods and forefathers, please excuse me. I am unable to perform any more offerings for your pleasure. Now I have decided to get free myself from all reactions to sin simply by remembering anywhere and everywhere the great descendant of Yadu and the great enemy of Kamsa, Lord Krishna. So what is the use of further endeavors? He also said further, Mugdam mam nigadantu niti nipuna branta mahu vaidika mandan bandava sanshaya jada diyam uktadara sodara unmatam danino viveka chatara kamam maha dambikam moktum na chamate managapi mano govinda pada spriham. Let the sharp moralist accuse me of being illusioned. I do not mind. Experts in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. The wealthy Mammonites may point me out as mad. And the learned philosophers may assert that I am much too proud. Still, my mind does not budge an inch from the determination to serve the lotus feet of Govinda, though I am unable to do it. So that's a couple of prayers from him earlier on in his life, I think. He's very famous for this one thing especially, that he found the Gopal deity that he installed, a very ancient murti, installed originally by Vrajanava, Krishna's great-grandson, and actually carved, just very shortly after Krishna. They had Uttara, the wife of Abhimanyu, checking to see if it looked like Krishna. It was baby Krishna, 5-year-old Krishna, holding up Govardhan Hill, or 7 years old, so that very nice like this. He was traveling all the time. He was a traveling mendicant. And he came to Govardhan. He went around Govardhan like everybody does, and Lord Chaitanya also did when he first got there. And then he would sit down to chant by Govinda Kund. And he was absorbed in chanting. I think he was a person who never thought about looking for food or anything, or shelter. He would just take what comes. But a very beautiful cowherd boy came and brought him a pot of milk and said that he asked, why did you come? He said, the women of the village, they saw you were fasting, and there's no fasting in this village. So they said, bring this milk for the sadhu. So he said, I'll come back later and get the pot. So he drank the milk, started chanting, and after some time, he took rest. And in his sleep, Krishna came. Now we say dream, but not exactly dream. When Krishna comes like that, he's actually coming. We have many incidents, especially with Lord Chaitanya, with Sanatana Goswami and Srinivas, Narottam. They're always having Lord Chaitanya come. And Krishna told him, and then he realized that boy that brought the milk was Krishna. So he was feeling very sorrowful that he didn't recognize Krishna. Wondered how that could happen. And so he, Krishna told him, you know, I've been buried back here in the jungle and for a long time, and it's too hot. You have to get me out. So he actually directed him in the morning, he got the men from the village, and they dug their way through the jungle and dug in the hill or something, and they found this Gopal. Just very amazing, very big black deity. So he took him up on a hill, on Govardhan Hill, and they set him up on a big stone and another big stone behind him, all Govardhan Shilas. And they started Abhishek, bathing with so much water. People were bringing pots, thousands of pots of water, bathing him, trying to cool him down. They did all the formalities of a deity installation. And it's all described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in detail, massaging him with so many things and oil and all the things you might have seen in Mayapur. You've seen if you see movies of deity installations, you know, now we do it pretty elaborately. So, and then they had a big feast. He initiated something like 12 local brahmanas as Vaishnavas in line so that they could take care of Gopal. And they were in different villages from even very far away. Every day we're bringing big feast every day. And somebody built a temple. The temple's still there. It's kind of near, Govindakund. So then after a while, Gopal came again and told him, it's still really hot. I need chandan, sandalwood. So if you can go to Jagannath Puri and get sandalwood, I guess that was the market. So he took off immediately, left these other, new devotees, but they're the Brahmins, by family, they're not just new bhaktas off the streets of Lagos or something. And he went to Puri. That means walking, maybe getting a ride on a bullock cart, but I don't think so. The sannyasis were walking. And got there. On the way, he stopped in Ramuna. And that's another famous Leela. He was chanting in ecstasy in the temple. And he saw that Ramuna is very famous for this kheer, that cooked down milk, very thick. If you've been to Radharaman, something like what you get there. And they distribute that to everybody. And it has a special taste. Nobody knows exactly how they get that taste. They put some spice or use certain kind of pot or whatever. So, and certain kind of fire, all these things are part of the taste of whatever you cook. Different kinds of clay, different kinds of wood burning. So anyway, he was thinking if I could taste that, then I could learn how to cook it for Gopal. Their deity there is Gopinath. Very beautiful deity. If you want to give me the screen share, I can.
Yeah, Gurudev, now you can share.
Okay, let me find it first. This is the this is the temple, Chiratori Gopinath. Outside the temple, I have some better pictures. Just a minute. Yeah. So then he felt bad that he was wanting to eat, instead of just worshiping the deity. Felt really unhappy about himself. Here's the kir, and here's different deity. So he just left, and he went in the market, and he was just sitting all by himself chanting. And in the night, the pujari was sleeping, and Gopinath, the deity, came to him and told him, I saved one pot of milk. They offered 12 pots every night before Krishna takes rest, and then they take it off for distribution. But the pujari left one on the altar, didn't count, summary Gopinath arranged. He hid one under his dhoti. So he told him, you go get that and give it to Madhavendra Puri. So the pujari, he took a bath and he went on the altar and he got it. And he went looking for Madhavendra Puri. Told him, you're the most fortunate man in the world. Gopinath, now he's called Chora Gopinath, the Gopinath who stole the kir, from Madhavendra Puri. So much love for him. So Madhavendra Puri was very amazed. He ate that kir. Then he broke up the pot into small pieces and tied it up in his turban or something and would eat a little bit every day of the pot, clay pot. So, but he thought everybody's going to hear about this in the morning and big crowds are going to come and they're going to be honoring me. So he just took off. But even when he got to Puri, people had heard about it already. News got faster than he traveled. So, but in Puri, he managed to, get a very big amount of chandan and arranged many things for traveling. At those days, traveling was, very, very difficult. So many taxes, so many checkpoints, borders. So there's Madhavendra Puri. And there's the deities. The middle is Gopinath. Krishna 3 times, but this one is very, very old deity from the time of Lord Ramchandra. It was worshipped by the Pandavas, I think, and handed down, and very special. So then he took off. He had a few helpers to help him carry a very heavy amount of chandan. He got to Ramuna again. That's about halfway to Calcutta. So it's, it's maybe 4 or 5 days walk, 6 or 7, I don't know. But again, Gopal came. And Gopal told him, I don't want you to suffer having to travel, carrying all this load and go through all this trouble. Because a sannyasi traveling alone, no border, no toll gate, or nobody bothers him. But if he's got people with him and he's carrying a valuable cargo, then they're going to get harassed everywhere for taxes and so many things, and thieves. So he said, you can just rub this chandan on the Gopinath, and I'll be cooled down by that. There's no difference between me and Gopinath. So another lesson in deity worship. So the pujaris there were really happy with that, and all this chandan. And so every day they're, grinding chandan and covering the whole Gopinath to cool him down. And there's footprints. Bhaktisiddhanta installed these Lord Chaitanya's footprints everywhere. So after they used up all that chandan, then he went back to Vrindavan. So this is the kheer, ready to distribute, many different sizes of clay pots covered with a leaf.
Umar, the picture is not coming up.
Oh, really?
That is where you have to click left-hand side to share, before you can show on the Zoom. Down, if you click share screen, it brings out an icon, then you click on it left-hand side.
Yeah, I see it went off. I didn't click it off, but now I just had to find those pictures again. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now?
Yes, now it comes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's the famous kheer. I wish we could taste it. You would really be in ecstasy. Although you people are not milk drinkers, if you were ever to taste all these amazing things that can be done with milk, you would, besides, fried paneer, you could understand cow's milk. So anyway, as time went on, like I said, he met Advaitacharya when he was staying there in Shantipur, and Advaita immediately asked for initiation as soon as he saw him. He was just overwhelmed with his beauty. And so he was also met Haridas Thakur and many others. So later in his life, he was became very old and invalid, and he had one very good disciple, his foremost disciple, Ishwar Puri. He was taking care of him, not only bodily, he had to clean him like a baby and take care of his body, but also chanting all the time. And so as he was lying there, he was chanting. Ishwarpur was always chanting the holy name and pastimes of Lord Krishna for Madhavendra Puri to hear. I hope I have somebody do that for me. I need somebody all the time to do that. So Madhavendra Puri embraced him and gave a benediction that he would be a great devotee and lover of Krishna. He was like an ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna. Then there was another Ramachandra Puri. And Ramachandra Puri was fault finder. So he was reciting this verse, Ai Dina Dardra Nata He Matura Nata Kadavalokase Hridayam Twadaloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham, which means, O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because my heart of not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved, what shall I do now? So this verse is, the intense essence of feeling separation from Krishna. And so he was crying like that. He's teaching us how to achieve ecstatic love by feeling separation. Satchidananda Swami says that, we can't really chant with love, with feeling of separation till we have love for Krishna. Then we can realize we're separated from Krishna and really cry out for Krishna. When we're puffed up and think, well, I have Krishna, I'm a devotee, then we can't chant really, properly. So he sowed the seed of ecstatic love for Krishna within this material world, and it departed. And it became a great tree in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that anyone who hears about this must be considered very fortunate. So this Ramachandra Puri, he heard him chanting this Mathura, Mathura, when will I have failed to be in Mathura? And he stopped, and he's supposed to be a disciple, but he said, why are you hankering after some place in this material world? You should be thinking of Brahman. What's wrong with you? So it was a big mistake to instruct the guru, but what to speak of a guru like that. So he would cry out, he was chanting the holy name, and he would cry, oh Lord, I didn't get shelter at Mathura. That means Vrindavan, that means shelter of Krishna. So Ramachandra, he said, if you're in bliss, you should remember only Brahman. You shouldn't be crying over some place in the world, So Madhapur, he said, get out, you sinful rascal. If I see you at the time of death, I'll never achieve Krishna. I could not reach you, O Krishna, I could not reach you, or Mathura, I'm dying in unhappiness, and this rascal come and give me more pain. So he was cursed, and he became a really Mayavadi and only fault finder of devotees, which is a whole nother story. He said, don't show your face to me, go away. If I die seeing your face, I shall not achieve the destination of my life. Very heavy, I'm dying without achieving the mercy of Krishna. Now this fool has come. Tell me about Brahman. But he blessed Ishwar Puri, and you must all know that Ishwar Puri became the initiating guru of Lord Chaitanya, and changed him drastically from a proud scholar to a madman for the holy name and Krishna. So that's the story of Madhavendra Puri. And I don't have much more time. We got another class soon, and I got a GPC meeting after that, and another class after that. Somehow it's a big day. And this just came as a surprise, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Atma Devi, welcome. Never met her, but I know the sister. Ganga Prasad, Ki Jai. Thank you for coming, and exalted people like you. And Sahadev even. Surprise, surprise. Okay. And Salika, Prasadam Distribution, Ki Jai. Kenneth Kama, Madan Gopal. Giridhari Puja, very good. Gayatri Jai. Loka Devi. Another one that's in America. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Narayani. Okay, and Kusha, done a great job organizing a lot of things here. So,
Thank you, Gurudev.
cold where you are?
Me?
Yeah, you got a lot of clothes on there.
Yeah, I'm 48.
That's hot.
Yeah, I'm
Black,
growing old.
black, huh?
Yeah, I'm growing old now.
You look like you're out skiing or something. All right, I have to leave. I'll listen later to what everybody says.
Thank you,
'Cause
Gurudev.
right now I can't, you know, just have a few minutes. Okay?
Yeah, yes, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you
Hare
very
Krishna.
much. Haribo.
Krishna Maharaj,
Thank you.
before you leave Maharaj, please, if you could give me just 2 minutes,
Yeah,
I wanted to read my just put offering at your lotus feet, Maharaj.
okay.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for giving the opportunity. Yes, like Krishna Kavicandra Maharaj, this is my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your loving service at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. On this occasion of your VYASA Puja, I pray at the feet of Srila Prabhupada, the Parampara, and Krishna, that you always remain dear in their loving service. In the words of Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, the best way to appreciate a great personality is not just to say so many glorifications or even writing about them, but the best way to appreciate and glorify such a great personality is to live and create communities that reflects the ideals and teachings of such a great personality. Sometime early in 2000, in one of your holiness visits to Nigeria, specifically at the Protocol Temple, you looked into all of the leaders' eyes, and you in a special way said, you all should repent. Although almost everyone laughed it off, it has become my meditation since then, almost about 20 years ago. I think quite unfortunately, we have not repented enough, which is why we have not been able to make our centers into the ideal Srila Prabhupada's house, which he wanted it to be. Today, as we celebrate your VYASA Puja, I pray at your lotus feet, Maharaj, that I may be an example of what you wish us to be, by fully repenting from all that I have done sinfully and that you do not want, and become what you wish us to be in your loving service. Your aspiring servant, Salika Das.
Thank you. Well, all you have to do is just focus on what Bhakti Tirtha Swami wanted. Many things got started and, due to whatever reason, they didn't get finished. But things are picking up, the young people. So we help them, encourage them, give them more and more space. All right. Thank you very much.
Guru Maharaj, I really wanted to inform devotees. Actually, your Vyasa Puja every year is 2 times, 24th of March and 3rd day before Sri Ramanuja Acharya's appearance, which is the Vedic calendar.
Yeah.
So this year Vyasa Puja is actually on 14th of April, 3 days to Ramanuja appearance day, when the real Vyasa Puja started. But modern calendar, 24th of March, the vote is still celebrated. So he got 2 celebrations.
That's the.
Yep.
That's what's on, my birth certificate and passport and everything.
Yes.
And on Facebook, you have to put, that. They won't let you change it every year. I tried that once and they didn't like that. So.
Thank you, Gurudev, for coming.
Okay. Thank you very much, Salika.
Yes.
So things are picking up because you're doing prasadam distribution. And just pray for more book distribution. Harinama is picking up again. Some places a lot. Quite a few really encouraging things are happening. I feel capable of going to report to Bhakti Tirtha now. If I get to Mayapur, I always like to go and try to. I used to just beg him to please help the devotees in Africa. Now I can give a report of how things are picking up. COVID actually helped because to get this forum going. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
So I'll listen later. It's recorded, and right now I need to get ready for the next one.
Yes, Gurudev.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj. So anybody want to read? Okay, I think I will read my small offering. Where is it? Comment. Okay, I read my offering. It says, Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory is to Srila Prabhupada. As another year passes by, I sit here reflecting on the guidance, inspiration, and encouragement that you give out so freely to me and countless others around the world. The ever-increasing influence that you have on me on so many levels is something that I notice frequently, particularly during challenging times in my bhakti career. It is because of your encouragement that I have been empowered.
Madana Gopal need to mute himself, but we can mute him.
Sure, it's muted. Yeah, okay. The ever-increasing influence that, okay, so afresh again, due to him, Hare Krishna Gurudev, my humble obeisances, to Srila Prabhupada. As another year passes by, I sit here reflecting on the guidance, inspiration, and encouragement that you give us so freely to me and countless others around the world. The ever-increasing influence that you have on me in so many levels is something that I notice frequently, particularly during challenging times in my bhakti career. It is because of your encouragement that I have been empowered to undertake service endeavors I never thought imaginable. Indeed, as a parent mold their child according to their values and behavior, I can see how you are molding me into a better and more authentic version of myself. You have taught me about detachment, discipline, tolerance, and patience. You have shown me what it really means to critically think, illuminating my two-dimensional vision with the torchlight of spiritual knowledge. I am so grateful for this process of gradually aligning with your wishes and your character, as it is my only hope to begin to realign with Krishna's spiritual energy. Gurudev, you are the guiding light of my spiritual life and my greatest shelter. I pray that I will not take this for granted, but that I only feel more and more indebted to you as the years pass. I am confident, not in my own willpower alone, but in the process of devotional service. Guru Krishna Prashad Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, one receive the seed of the kripa of devotional service. Krishna Chaitanya himself emphasizes service to his qualified spiritual master as central to this process. And I know that if I can place you in some small way, then everything will always be all right. Nothing makes my soul more happy than pleasing you, as it allows me to be directly connected to you in our Guru Parampara. I am so fortunate to be able to participate in Chaitanya Sankirtan Lila as a tiny little jiva by assisting you to serve your spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. If I can be proud of anything about myself, it is that I am associated with you, eternally indebted to you, and dear Gurudev, your worthy servants, Kushadas. Okay, that is my little offering. Now we go to Madam Gopal. You raise your hand or mute yourself, please. Madam Gopal, you raise. Yes, go on, please.
Hare Krishna, Isakin Charadas.
Okay,
I
General.
am with Abu. Yeah,
Yeah, please
I
go
like
on.
of Gumarat, His Holiness Kavikandra's. I go down also to the lotus of Srila Prabhupada. I go down to the lotus seat, to the all Guru Parampam. I don't have so much to say because what I regard to his Guru cannot be anything in this world. He's the one who all the time empower me to do my devotional service. Since we don't have so much contact, I don't rush so much to him, but I saw him all the time, everywhere he is, everything he's doing. Unless on Facebook also, I see his preaching, everything he's doing, and then I'm so guided and encouragement from everything he's doing. Every day I have lessons from him because I follow him on Facebook. Then that makes me to be all the time in the devotional service. I would like to thank Gurudev and all the other of Togo. Also want to thank you because truly is the who come to assist us to us and who
Okay,
can
General, your network is not too good. Your network is cutting. Try to type it and post it also on the forum. Because whatever you are saying, put it in writing, also post it on the forum on WhatsApp platform.
Okay, that okay.
Yes. Ganga Prashad, please, you can take the floor, please. Prabhu Ganga.
Hare Krishna, can you hear
Hare
me?
Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Vyasa Puja offering. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. On this auspicious occasion of your Vyasa Puja anniversary, I wish to express our sincere gratitude for all the sacrifices you made in the past and are still making in the present to encourage us in Srila Prabhupada's mission of service for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. Thank you. I pray that if it please Lord Krishna, he should continue to preserve your health and steadfastness in his devotional service for our upliftment and his glorification. Happy Vyasa Puja anniversary. Your servant, Ganga Prashad Das. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Somebody else, Gayatri Devi, you have your offering. Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna. Okay, my offering to Srila Gurudev. Happy Vyasa Puja, Srila Gurudev. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as a crowd pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the material afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a lovely and kind spiritual master, who is an ocean of all auspicious qualities. Happy Vyasa Puja to my most celebrated Guru Maharaj. All glories to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm most happy and honored to celebrate and be part of this auspicious day. I'm most grateful for you accepting me as your servant, though I'm still struggling. It's my humble prayer to always remain under your shelter and under your kind and merciful shelter, to serve Shri Krishna with much love and devotion, and also assist in fulfilling the divine mission of Jagat Guru Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. It is my sincere prayer that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu will continue to bless and protect you, Gurudev. I wish you happy Vyasa Puja, wishing you the very best and good health in all aspects. Thank you so much, Gurudev, for your kind mercy and grace upon me. Thank you, Gurudev, for accepting me, though I'm fallen, not up to standard. The servant of your servant, Gayatri Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Haribo, Gayatri, post it on the forum. Forum is open for your offering. Anybody who finish can post on the platform on the WhatsApp. Sorry, Prabhu, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Kavicandra Maharaj, and all glories to assembled devotees. I do not have any written words for this auspicious Vyasa Puja celebration of His Holiness Kavicandra Swami Maharaj. I will just speak from my heart. So, this is to His Holiness Kavicandra Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet, and all glories to the assembled devotees. I cannot actually understand why I am so much blessed to have the association of such amazing devotees and special souls like Kavicandra Maharaj. When I was in Ghana, whenever Kavicandra Maharaj would come, he would always drag me to his side and would be talking to me like a father would talk to a son. So that's why I said initially that I do not know why, because I am nobody to get close to Maharaj, but for whatever the reason is, he always drags me closer to himself, and he personally teaches me what to do and how to do it. I remember there was a time we had a fire sacrifice one place, and Maharaj was there. He had given me his camera to be taking shots. And because I like to talk, I tried preaching to somebody. And Maharaj came and talked to me. He said, "What do you know to talk about? Don't preach. You are blessed to chant. Just go and lead the kirtan." So Maharaj knows where I can do better and tries to polish me from that angle. So again, another time, Maharaj came to Ghana, and the sun was so hot. It was scorching so hot. So I carried an umbrella to give him some shade. And Maharaj said, "Push it away. You do not know how much I'm enjoying the sunlight. I do not get the sunlight." And I quite didn't understand him that time, that since I came here to the West, I realized how important the sunlight is, because here we don't get much of the sunlight. On top of that, like Ganga Prasad Prabhu said, Maharaj has given us so much guidance and instructions, especially in West Africa, and particularly in Ghana. We are not so smart enough to understand his teachings and try to imbibe his teachings. Yet every single day, every single night, Maharaj is in touch with us, still giving us his blessings, his guidance. So on this auspicious day of Maharaj's VYASA Puja, I pray to Maharaj that even though I am unqualified and I do not deserve his mercy, I pray for his mercy, his guidance, and his protection. And I do not just pray for myself, I pray for the whole yatra, that Maharaj continues to bless us, and somehow we pick up his guidance, his teachings, so that we can make him proud and make Sri Prabhupada proud and make ISKCON at large proud. So my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, all glories to His Holiness KAVICANDRA Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu Sahadev. Hare Krishna. Anyone else have to read? Kindly raise your hand while we should call you to read your offering, if you have any. As we wait for anyone else, we can have some glimpse of Maharaj pictures.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Yes, devotees, anybody have something to read? Now we come to the end of today's program. Thank everybody for coming. I think it's a pleasure to have everybody around. We didn't even know that Maharaj would come. I wanted to play his lecture, but he appeared. If you want to say something, kindly unmute yourself and say something. Everybody. Sareka, thank you. Sadev Prabhu, Ganga Prasad, Gayatri Devi, Atma Devi, Modaloka, Akenchana, Moderati, Gayatri, Girir Puja. Hare Krishna. Sade, want to say something? Sade Prabhu, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Well, Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. I'm going to post.
Okay.
I'm going to share.
Yeah. All I wanted. Okay. All I wanted to say is,
We are hearing you.
okay. It's always easier said than done. Yeah, it's always easier said than done. But as we are trying to be devotees, our understanding, especially at this point, is that Krishna consciousness means Guru consciousness. In other words, Krishna consciousness is all based on the Guru. And so, even though it's difficult and I'm not excluded from this, but the fact is we should all try our possible best. We should all try whatever we can to try and follow the instructions of the Guru. Because it's very difficult for, especially if you are a father and you're always talking to your son and your son doesn't listen to you. So the Guru is like a father. And if the Guru keeps telling us what to do and we do not do as he expects us to do, it's a bit difficult for the Guru. We know that whatever we do, the Guru shares some of the reaction. So if we believe we love the Guru, then we should try to minimize our negative activities so that we do not give so much botheration to the Guru. This is just a word of advice to myself and probably might be helpful to other devotees also. That on auspicious days like this, we try to pray to the Lord and the Guru to help us remain steadfast in the service of Guru and Krishna. That's all I wanted to say. And
Thank you,
thank you
Prabhu.
all for coming. And thank you all
Thank
for
you.
your support. Hare
Ganga
Krishna.
Prasad. Nice to see you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry I've been away for some time.
You went to you traveled to Goloka like Narada Muni. Did you see Krishna? What was he doing?
Yeah, good to see you,
we
Prabhu.
can see it on his face. I thought I was the only one noticing that.
I saw him in Mayapur. He went to see Krishna.
Yeah. I
Prabhu,
need
when
mercy.
you
I
went
need
to
mercy.
see when you went to see Krishna, what was he doing?
It was
Abeg,
treading
tell
the,
us.
it was treading the head of a camel through the eye of a needle.
Is it possible?
You think we are joking?
It's impossible, yes.
Really happy to see you back, Ubu.
Hare Krishna.
Well, I got a little distracted, but my situation required what I did. So I beg for forgiveness for my conspicuous absence, but I guess I'm free now to be regular. Thank you for tolerating me.
Yeah, it's no offense at all. Only some of those droplets from Goloka Vrindavan when you brought back, just threw some of them to us.
As your lordship pleases.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, there is not much enough work to criticize Holiness Kavichandra Maharaj. He's just, sometimes I forget whether he's actually a guru, because he never relates to us, even just like a guru, but just like a father. He is always, what he does, what a father would do to a biological son and daughters. I've seen him practically. He goes to the littlest thing to attend to the devotees' needs. If you go around the whole of West Africa, I'm sure many devotees will agree with me in this regard. It goes to the meaning, to the most meaningful part of our lives, into our day-to-day life activities. It takes care of devotees, not only spiritually, mentally, but even financially, materially. He has empowered so many devotees. He's still doing, he gives so many support in so many ways. He's an exemplification of devotee care personification. He's actually always there. Immediately there's any issue about any devotee, either it is emotional, or spiritual, or material problems, he goes all in fully to make sure. I remember when late God brother, both of them actually, Sukrambara Prabhu and eventually Tapamaya Prabhu, Maharaj was constantly always calling on a daily basis. He was personally sending funds to make sure that those devotees get the best of care while they are still in the body. That if we start today, there's no limit to how we can glorify Maharaj fatherly spiritual role in our lives. So we just feel, personally, I feel so indebted to him, and I pray that I one day be able to actually please him and fulfill his wishes in my life.
Thank you, Prabhu. So we closed for today. Tomorrow is Saturday, Sunday. Prabhu Gang, unless if you want to give class tomorrow is free. You can let them know.
Classes on Monday to Friday.
Bhagavad Gita. Yes, now you are dodging. I know you very well. You dodge it.
I'm only following due process and rule of
Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. We close for today, please. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for organizing this.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Haribo.
So good to see you, Ganga Prasad Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
My pleasure, Sadev Maharaj. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Hari.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,